When you're sitting in meetings with your digital marketing vendor, I mean, I appreciate people who are very direct and asking for help where they know they need help. And I completely appreciate that. Hey, I don't understand this, or hey, can you explain this a little bit more? Can we talk about that? You know, things that very direct, pointed questions. And that helps both of us kind of move forward. That helps both of us get to the bottom of, in the most efficient way possible. So when you're meeting with your digital marketing vendor, be very direct and pointed with your questions. And as long as your questions aren't meant to, be like gaslighting somebody, you should get very direct answers. So I'll give an example. So I had someone who showed me and I had shared their map with them. So they shared it back with their area of responsibility per the manufacturer, per the OEM, and they shared that back with me. And in the course of this, we sat and looked at this map now I've worked with this person before, so I know he tends to beat around the bush. I don't know if he knows what point he's trying to make sometimes. But so for this call, I was determined to stay on track with our time because the last call had run over almost 2 hours. And that's too much time. You don't need to take that much time with a digital marketing vendor in one meeting. So this time I was determined to keep the timing on track. So when he brought out the map that we were going to then discuss about, because the what we were going by is the impression share for certain campaigns really was low, and they didn't have a whole lot of extra budget to share or to give us to actually target a higher impression share. So what he was getting around to, and what I eventually just kind of went right to the map, and with my fantastic art skills, I'm being sarcastic, actually went and cut up the map so it made sense to that we could actually own that particular the area of responsibility, and then a little bit more. So the impression share he currently had with one campaign that he really wanted a higher impression share with was 14%, and the highest impression share in the pie was 54%. And I said, okay, if we want to target 55%, it's going to take an additional $4,000. That's what it would take to target that higher impression share. I can't promise it. I don't have a crystal ball. That's just the way it works. But you can't, any vendor that promises you that I'm going to absolutely get you to this impression share, yeah, they're lying. You can't promise that. You can target that. Absolutely. I want to target this impression share. And if we have this much more budget, we can do that. Well, this store didn't have that much more budget. So we had to come up with a compromise. So when he showed me this map and I said, let me tell you what, your store is here and you're way out here, like way out into these east and west areas of the store, I don't think we should be there, because there's like 6 other Chevy stores in those particular areas that have to spend money in that area because it is their area of responsibility. So the fact that it's not our area of responsibility, I kind of feel like we need to be dominant in the impression share in our area of responsibility, and maybe slightly on his map it was slightly above that, right below where the freeway happened to be. So, and he agreed to it. Now that took us 20 minutes to get to, and I was okay with that. But that's what your digital marketing vendors should be bringing to the table. So if you have a goal in mind, be clear and direct and succinct with your goal. i.e., I want to obtain a higher impression share in the areas surrounding my store, in these areas that I have targeted. How do we do that? That would be a very direct question, instead of, I want to look at this map, I want to see why should we be here, instead of all the back and forth. That's waste of both of your times. So, and like I said, he may not even know what point he was going to, and I helped him get there just by learning. It's a consistent learning process that you really have to be attuned to and listening to the client to make sure you can answer the question that they might not even know is a question. So through that whole experience, what I did learn is to kind of read between the lines more and for someone who's not so direct, which is what this guy is he's not so direct. So by reading between the lines, I got to a solution a lot faster, saving us both time, so we weren't there for 2 hours again. So the call only ran about 10 minutes long, which I was okay with on this particular day because I had the extra time. So my goal with him, I go into every call with the goal that I start and finish on time. And it's not so much if they can't make it, if they have to reschedule, totally get it. That's the car business. Sometimes you get pulled into a heater, you have 4 deals working and you're short a desk guy. I get it. You've got a heat sheet in finance that needs to get cleared today. Those things happen. I'm okay with that. But when I actually when I have a client, a dealership on the call, a GM, an owner, whoever it is, I want to get them started and stopped on time because I want to be respectful of their time. So the ability to continually sometimes getting to the question or seeing the question without them really knowing what the question is, that's really an art form that the digital marketing side that I've had to hone and craft. Becoming a consultant, doing this job now in the paid space, because I think it's really crucial, because a lot of the dealerships, they don't know what they don't know. I guess that's the only way to put it. So they know what they want it to do. Like in our example here, like I want to get higher engagement in this area around our store, and I don't feel like we're dominant there. I don't feel like we're really owning our backyard. So as soon as he said that triggered for me. Got it. So what we need to do is we need to shrink down your target areas in search and in social, and make sure we own our backyard. Super easy. So if you're on the paid marketing side, my advice for you is really pay attention to what the goal is, and really get to, if you're having a back and forth and you're not understanding what they're describing that they want to see, or that they want to, what they want to happen, or can you do something like, what do you want to do? What's the goal of us doing this? What do you want to achieve by doing this? And what you'll get is, hopefully, and if you're not, get training, get help, get assistance to do this, hopefully if they give you their goal, you can then, as the expert, as the digital marketing expert, you can then go in and figure out, okay, I get it. You want to own your backyard. So what we need to do is we need to get rid of all these areas east and west of where you're targeting, because we don't own our backyard yet. And until we do, I think we should focus there. Done. Totally. So, and as far as the dealership side, I think from that aspect, that's what I would start with first, is what is your goal for what you're asking the digital marketer. I'm looking at this map, but I'm telling you right now, our goal is to not be everywhere, all over, this entire region, because we just can't afford to do that. And I don't want to do that because I know I'm not going to get the service retention. So what I want for a goal is to target this particular region within a 30-mile radius, whatever it is, around my store. And I want to be dominant in that area, online, digitally, and in the market as far as sales. How do I do that? So be very pointed with what your goal is first, and then a good digital marketer, or one that's willing, is continuing to learn, will have that solution for you. We'll come to that solution with you together. So trying to make digital marketing and dealerships working better together. I hope that helps for this week. Happy selling.